The question that arises today is as follows. Are we witnessing the end of the German economic model as we once knew it? Before you get lost in current economic news, I want to dive straight into the heart of the matter. While France often makes headlines in the economic world, Germany is also going through a period of turbulence that continues to fuel debates. And believe me, this is not just a passing crisis. It's much deeper than that. For decades, Germany has been a symbol of industrial excellence. The famous "Made in Germany" was synonymous with reliability, precision, and performance. If you owned a German car, you didn't just buy it for its beauty, but for its legendary durability and reliability. Since reunification in 1990, Germany has established itself as the economic engine of Europe. In 2023, it became the third largest economy in the world, the third largest exporter, and one of the largest car manufacturers globally. But here's the thing, the pandemic and the energy crisis have exposed hidden flaws in the German model. These events have shaken the foundations of a system that was once considered unshakable. Signs of a collapsing model. But today, this is no longer just a temporary situation. The problems are now structural. The historical pillars of the German economy are wobbling. The once iconic automotive industry has seen its giants such as Volkswagen, Mercedes, BMW, and Porsche collapse under pressure. These global industry leaders, once symbols of Germany's economic power, have never been so fragile. And that's not all. The chemical industry, machine tools, and even the banking sector are struggling, battered by headwinds relentlessly attacking them. It is therefore crucial to understand what is happening, not only to grasp the magnitude of the crisis in Germany, but also to anticipate the impact it could have on the entire European continent. Since Germany is the main trading partner for most EU countries, the turbulence it is experiencing does not come without repercussions. These shocks could spread far beyond the borders of Deutsche Bank. The roots of the crisis. While Germany has long dominated the global industrial sector, its prosperity largely relied on its access to cheap energy. German industrialization was fueled by relatively low-cost energy, primarily from gas. This energy model allowed Germany to become an industrial giant, but it is now proving to be its Achilles heel. In 2022, when the war in Ukraine broke out, Germany's main energy supplier, Russian gas, was drastically reduced. Sanctions deprived German industry of a crucial energy source, forcing the country to turn to much more expensive alternatives, such as liquefied natural gas, LNG, from the US and Qatar. This increased dependence on more expensive energy sources has led to an explosion in production costs. German industry, which once dominated the global scene, has suddenly seen its margins shrink, production lines slow down, and future prospects dim. For companies that once embodied German engineering, such as Volkswagen, the situation has become critical. The German car industry at risk. Take Volkswagen, one of the pillars of the German industry. This car manufacturer, once considered the emblem of industrial success, is facing an unprecedented storm. Its activity forecasts for 2024 have been revised down, and the impact of the energy crisis is being felt throughout the production chain. The figures speak for themselves. 60% of car manufacturers plan to reduce their workforce this year. And this is not just a consequence of the health crisis or inflation. It is a structural issue. Domestic demand has fallen, and internationally, consumers are increasingly moving away from internal combustion engines. Moreover, electric vehicles, led by Tesla and BYD, are becoming more dominant in the market. Volkswagen, once the leader in the sector with its iconic cars, now finds itself having to adapt to a new world where internal combustion engines are in decline, and the electrification of vehicles has become a top priority. But the transition to electric cars is not without obstacles. The energy transition requires heavy investments. While the profit margins of the automotive industry are shrinking, further weakening companies already affected by the energy crisis. Berlin's response. In response to this situation, German authorities have tried to find solutions. They are fighting against Brussels to delay the ban on combustion engines, scheduled for 2035, and relax standards in the face of competition from electric vehicles. But despite their efforts, the automotive sector is confronted with an unrelenting reality. The era of internal combustion engines is coming to an end. The German giants must reinvent themselves to survive in a world where energy is more expensive and consumer expectations are evolving. The biggest German companies are sounding the alarm and requesting emergency subsidies. Time is running out, and the crisis seems to have revealed the flaws in the economic system that once took Germany to the top. The impact on the European economy. Germany, as the engine of the European economy, plays a key role in the economic stability of the entire continent. The current difficulties facing the country are likely to have significant repercussions on its European partners. The partial collapse of the German industrial model could lead to the deindustrialization of Europe, with dramatic consequences for countries that depend on Germany for their exports. The automotive sector, a true institution in Germany, is already registering losses. European producers are beginning to feel the effects of reduced exports to China and other key markets. The German economic crisis could thus have repercussions far beyond its borders. But even more importantly, it raises questions about the viability of the current European economic model towards a new model. What are the perspectives? In the face of this crisis, one question arises: what future for the German and European economies? The challenges are numerous, but solutions do exist. Germany must rethink its economic model to adapt to new global realities. This means diversifying its energy sources, digitally transforming its industry, and becoming more open to technological innovation. The German economy could also reinvent itself by investing in new green industries, such as renewable energy, hydrogen, or electric mobility. But for that to happen, it will first need to overcome a crisis of confidence and regain the competitiveness it has lost in recent years. Europe, for its part, must realize that economic stability no longer depends solely on Germany's industrial power. Economic policy reform, greater inter-European cooperation, and a successful energy transition are essential elements for preserving the continent's competitiveness in the face of global challenges. Conclusion: decline or renaissance? While Germany is going through a difficult period, it is too early to say whether the German model is disappearing. What is certain is that the German economy, like that of Europe, is undergoing a transformation. Past mistakes, dependence on fossil fuels and geopolitical isolation, have weakened a model that seemed unshakable. But this is not the end of the story. The future will depend on Germany and Europe's ability to reinvent themselves, adapt, and overcome the challenges of the energy transition while preserving what made them strong: innovation, quality, and competitiveness. The time has come to rethink European industry and prepare for the next economic revolution. Perhaps today Germany is going through its greatest crisis, but it could emerge stronger if it knows how to seize the opportunities of tomorrow.